Morning, everyone. Bitcoin crossed $65,000 per coin this morning, a couple $1,000 bump from the last couple days. So I spent 5 minutes this morning on Google and another 5 minutes on X, and there was not an immediately obvious reason. So typically it takes, an hour or two or something like that. And so maybe when I check the news feeds on Google by just Googling the word Bitcoin later this morning, or on X, some sort of catalyst will emerge, but there wasn't an obvious catalyst. There was speculation, but none of it seemed based in anything. So anyway, who knows? But the real question is, what are you going to do as the price changes? So there tends to be two kinds of people in the world, people of action and people of inaction. So this past week was a huge deal for Elon Musk. He launched the robo-taxi, the robo-van, the new version of his Optimus AI-powered robot, like humanoid robot, and he launched Starship Flight 5, and the main booster system returned to Earth and was caught by Mechzilla, which is the big chopstick arms that catch the rocket in mid-flight. And if you haven't seen that, you should go watch it. It's a feat of an absolute feat of engineering marvel that they can catch a 250-ton structure that's 20 stories high falling out of the sky, softened by rocket boosters, but they can actually catch it with these arms so that they don't actually have to land it on the ground. They can just catch it midair, refuel it, and just relaunch it basically 30 minutes later, which is crazy. So anyway, are you a person of action or inaction? So most people are people of inaction, which means they watch the world happen to them, which means they see the price of Bitcoin at 65,000 and they think, I'll just watch. I'll see what it does from here. And then it goes up to 74,000 and sets a new all-time high. And they're like, yeah, but it might dip. I better watch it. I better just watch it a little longer. And then it goes up to 80,000. Then their response, of course, is, wow, I just don't know what it's going to do. I better watch it some more. Inaction, inaction, inaction. Then it dips to $70,000, down from, let's say, $80,000. And they're like, well, I had told myself I was going to buy the dip, that if it ever really came back down, that I was going to buy it. But now I'm not going to buy it because I feel scared. And maybe the reason it's down, maybe there's a good reason it's down. Maybe there's a good reason that the price has corrected. And as they say, never try to catch a falling knife. So once again, inaction. I'll just watch. And then, $70,000 turns into $90,000 and $120,000. And then it's more inaction, which is, oh, well, I already missed it. If I was going to buy Bitcoin, I should have bought it at $63,000. Now it's up at $90,000. Now I've missed out. Now, inaction, inaction, inaction. Maybe if the price comes way back down, I'll buy some. But, I've really missed out. Woe is me. Well, then the price goes from 90 to 85 or 80 or 75. And the same thing. The person's like, oh, but maybe it's dipping for a reason. I better watch. Inaction, inaction, inaction. So what is the opposite of that? The opposite of that is action. It's taking the bull by the horns and saying, okay, do I want to own this asset or not? And if I do want to own it, how much can I afford to buy based on my conviction of what this asset is and the underlying fundamental value of Bitcoin? And if you don't understand what that is, there are tons of great resources to tell you that, including all the videos I posted on Facebook and all the content I posted on Facebook, most of which is all in a single document pinned at the very top of my profile, so for the world to see. So no excuse for inaction. They're all the material you need to form a deep conviction of what Bitcoin is, how it works, what could go wrong, what can't go wrong. All of that is available on my Facebook page and numerous other resources all over the internet by very well-studied people on Bitcoin for a very long time. So don't be a person of inaction. Be a person of action. In my opinion, it's a great time to buy Bitcoin. In my opinion, the people who are not buying it now are going to regret not buying it now. And nobody has ever regretted buying Bitcoin as long as they held it for long enough. And I would just encourage everybody, do the research. Be a person of action. You will not regret it as long as you've got a reasonable time horizon to let it expand in value. So have a great morning, everyone, and happy Bitcoin journey.